Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam, and welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is all about what is their frickin' problem, man. So this is about somebody who's irking you, somebody who you think is mad at you, somebody who you think, is bothering you, and they very well may be doing all those things. We're gonna find out why. Okay. So remember that when we do a reading like this is coming from their perceptions and their reality. So anytime you feel like, oh, that hurts my feelings, remember, I'm not the one saying that to you, my soul friend. This is this other person that I've never met. Okay. I say that because, people like to do bad things to messengers sometimes. So remember, this is their perspective. It may or may not be congruent with reality. Okay. So don't worry about that. All right. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it's just your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. And no matter how you look at that, it's healthy. You're in the right place. So welcome. Today we are going to let you choose between 4 piles. I apologize. I went into autopilot and just started shuffling and laying out the piles and getting it all pretty. And then I was like, wait, I was going to do live shuffling from now on. So there's a couple of oracle decks that we will shuffle live. And then the clarification tarot deck that we use will also be shuffled live for the skeptics. I don't think all of you are skeptics, but it is nice to have, proof that the synchronicities weren't like a sham. Okay. So the cards we shall be using today are Season of the Witch Beltane Oracle. There's 2 more of these coming out, and I'm so excited. I have 4 now, and I want all of them. The other oracle deck we will be live shuffling is this one. If you've watched some of my more recent readings as of late, you may have seen this one before. And also with this one will be live shuffled as well. This was a Kickstarter deck, so I will be putting this information in the description box so you can go find that deck if you want. The rest of the decks can be found anywhere tarot and oracle cards are mass published and sold. All right, let's see here. Anything else I wanted to say to you? Gosh dang, it just feels like I just didn't take that much time, but hey, you're probably really excited to read your reading. So I'll let you get to it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile 1. So if you picked this, I don't know what it is, y'all. It might be amethyst, but it might not be because I'm not a rock hound. But it's pretty. Isn't it? Okay. We'll put this over here. Matches the dragon nicely. If you like this dragon, watch one of my previous videos where you see it in the picture. And a lot of times I will have their information. I'll put their information in there too. All right, so let's get your overall energy to start with what is this person's overall problem. Remember, this is their perception, not reality in all cases, but they might have a point or two, so I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If I feel like, whatever messages are coming in, I will tell you, I promise, okay? So let's look at it. We have Oracle number 28. Spirits of other worlds, tell me tales of the unknown. Tell me tales of the forbidden. Oh, they were saying tell me tales. I didn't see the colon. Okay. So some of you are oracles or sensitive types in this group. Some of you may be, seeking, this could just be your overall energy of seeking out like an oracle to help you understand the situation. Some of you might even be worried that this person is working like roots on you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's doing magic on you in a bad way. Before I get started with anything else, I'm going to say this. They cannot do it to you if you believe they can't. Okay? And it sucks if you already started to believe it. And I get it, you guys, because how do you start believing it? Well, usually something weird and freaky can happen and you're like, I wasn't expecting that. I don't even believe in that, like in some cases, right? But I know that happened, and now I'm starting to think that this is real, and I feel scared. And all that trauma from all the like years and years of people being scared of black magic, okay? Like it can get really terrifying. It can get you can start feeling like you were stupid or you messed up. And then that's why this is happening to you, okay? That's a really specific example for probably not all of you, but yeah, I totally feel like some of you might actually feel that. And I've had people like, seek me out when they think that sort of thing is happening. And so, if you think that sort of thing is happening, get a hold of me and I can help you. Okay. But the main thing is I don't need to help you. You can help yourself. Okay. So keep that in mind whenever you feel like somebody's putting roots on you. You can get rid of it. You are just as much powerful as anyone else. All right. I totally believe that. I don't think that everybody, there's just some certain very powerful people and they just get to do all the bad things to us. Okay. Y'all, we have all the same things within us. And so we can elevate certain things in our lives. We do have different gifts and different skills that will help us in certain situations, but we all have that same power that was given to us by our creators. I truly believe that we're all equal in certain ways. Okay. Sure. They could maybe overpower you physically, right? But no one can overpower you energetically except your creator. Please believe that. All right. I'm moving on. I think I might be losing my light already. Can y'all see me? Okay. We'll just keep going. I can't see, but maybe you guys can. Okay. I also see the words spirits of other worlds. Tell me tales of the unknown. Tell me tales of the forbidden. And so I also feel like some of you that are here might be a little bit skittish when it comes to magic. You might feel a little bit of what I call, I grew up in the 80s and 90s guilties, and my parents taught me that all that stuff was like satanic and bad. When if you study, pagans don't believe in Satan. So how could we worship something we don't believe in? And I'm not discounting it if you guys believe in. We believe in evil. And so I just feel like it's a different interpretation. Okay. It's personified more in this, in a lot of cultures than in paganism. So anyway, that being said, so like Satan ain't here. I don't even know the guy. He's as real to me as Santa Claus, which means I don't really believe. Actually, I believe in Sinterklaas better than I do Satan, which is what me and my friend John call him, Satan. Yeah, it's just a little callback to American Horror Story. The one where they all went camping. It was kind of more of a comedy. And yeah, check it out. He says Satan every time. Yeah, the guy that plays Richard Ramirez. Anyway, I digress. All right. So don't worry about all that. Sorry for the little mini lesson for those of you that already knew. I had to do it. I just, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so I get all upset because I know there's still people in jail. All right, we're moving on. We're finding out what's this person's problem. Ooh, I just had a thought. Maybe some of you are dealing with a person who might possibly think that you're satanic because of your beliefs, or think you're bad in some way because you believe differently than they do. It doesn't even have to be religion. It could just be something, something else. All right. But let's find out why. What's their problem with you? 9 of Wands. I'm not going to say a word until I get these all out. Knight of Cups. Okay. King of Cups. I'm feeling a lot of empathic energy, so I apologize right off the bat if I tell too many personal stories to try to connect to you. I swear I just use them as examples. I promise I'm not trying to make it about me. Interesting. All right. So for some of you, this is a person that you are romantically connected to and or are, you know, they have a problem with you or you've been fighting, right? Or having disagreements, or you don't approve of the way they're behaving. For others, it might be a breakup. Oh boy, I gotta grab my notepad and write these down, or I will forget and mess this up entirely. Okay. Okay. So, couple on the rocks. What was the other one I said? I already forgot it already. I gotta go look. Breakup. One word. I couldn't even do it. One hyphen. Compound. Whatever. Okay. Not an English teacher anymore. I love doing that. Okay, so anyway. I feel like for others, if this is platonic professional, platonic is going to be kind of mixed up with the same messages that I give romance. So we're just going to call this relationships. All right. And then I'm feeling with professional, it's going to be kind of the same for now. So at least this message that's coming through. So for a lot of you, this person feels as if they're the only one trying. And here's the thing. Whether that's like true or not, it feels true to them. Okay. The other thing is that it doesn't mean that you're not trying to because they feel that way. Okay. That's the main thing I wanted to get across. And your guides wanted you to hear that. You very well could feel the same way that they do. And this is a mirroring problem, especially for couples who are very, very close, who've been together for a long time. Even if it's platonic friendship, I feel like for some of you, this is a very, very long period together. So just remember, I'm picking up on a lot of energy, y'all. So, you know, if this isn't resonating at all, go grab another pile, but also kind of maybe stick around because there's just a lot to unpack here, as they say. All right. It's like they feel like they offered you things. They were the one that was emotionally stable and mature. They were maybe the one that created this big, beautiful life for you. They were your equal, right? And they want, like, they feel like maybe it changed, or like they want things to change. Yes, they want things to change. Okay. This is kind of across the board. So like, for like long-term couples, I just hit the phone with my forehead. I'm so sorry. It's up really high. I'm very short and I'm at a standing desk. I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all are, I feel so much love between that energy of like the people that have been around each other for a long time. Like for platonic, I almost feel like y'all were super into everything together, like maybe even like grew up together. You might not even remember being alive when they weren't, or you might not remember meeting them because you were that young. I'm also seeing that if that's not the case, you came a long way together in such a short amount of time that it was like an instant bond. I do feel a little bit of trauma bonding for some, and not all trauma bonding is bad. You just have to kind of keep an eye on each other. It's like when you meet a friend at a support group. You know, you're both going to have a lot of the same issues. And so like, you're going to like end up triggering each other a little bit more. You're going to end up watching the other one get unstable maybe a little bit more than you would with like just a normal person, or as we say in AA, a normie. And that's just what alcoholics refer to as a person that's not an alcoholic. They're like, they're normal. We're not. Yeah, like that kind of thing. We embrace our dysfunction. But anyway, I always think about AA in the spring. But anyway, I feel like it's sort of like that, like trauma bonding, but in a healthy way. Like it started out super healthy, that you're like both battle weary, or maybe even went through this battle together, but you are stronger for it. You keep each other on track. You support each other. It's beautiful energy. And my chest is so tight. I feel like a lot of heart chakra stuff is going on right now. Whew. And spreading down into my solar plexus as well. So if you're feeling, I feel like a lot of you, when you are thinking about this person, like it can get to the point where you feel pulling inside your body. Oof, if that's the case and it's like that uncomfortable all the time, give me a call. I can help you. Anyway, I have specific techniques for that work. So let me do it for myself here for a second and get back to your reading. I feel like this issue of you thinking that they have a problem with you is like painful. It's so painful and scary for you because this is like a partner, whether it's platonic, professional, romantic, long-term, familial. It could be a sibling. It could be somebody, a friend so close you feel like they're your sibling. It could be a friend that for whatever, like that you have past romantic tension with. And that could be like past life even, okay? And that could be, that stuff can happen even with same gendered people, because even if you don't identify, or you're not attracted to that particular gender, you may have been a different gender in a past life. If you believe in past lives, I do. So a lot of times you might have like weird relationship tension of just around one person, and you might not even be like attracted to them in this life. They might be attracted to you and you're like, why? That kind of thing. I'm not feeling any kind of split like that, but I am feeling like this close bond. So like very close, like bosom buddies, soulmates. Even if you're not a couple, like the bond between you feels like heavenly. Interesting word. I don't say that word, so that might be something specific for a very specific person. I also tried to fight it getting out. And it happened anyway. Okay. Ooh, my chest is so tight. Okay, so what's happening, you guys? Okay. I see you like wanting it to change, and I see these little eyes on this card, like you'll do anything to see this way forward, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to see this way forward. Oh. Okay. And so this is more your energy, which is interesting. I want to get, what do I want? No, I want these ones. I'm going to get you some tarot. This is a fresh full deck because the other ones, that other deck with these cards are all split up. So we'll get you the full Monty here. How are they feeling, Spirit? We know how they're feeling now, right? But how is their person feeling? What's their problem? Do they even have a problem? I feel a lot of mirroring energy. I feel like they feel the exact same way as you, but I want to make sure. Judgment, that's about second chances, wanting a second chance. Wanting to rise to the occasion, wanting to spring back into life, wanting to resurrect something. King of Swords, wanting to overcome challenges. Show me their feelings towards pile one. Strength. They want the strength to see this through. There we go. There's a lack of communication somewhere, and I want this one too. Knight of Pentacles. It's just kind of going slow. Okay, one more, Spirit. Thank you so much. Okay, and I also feel this one, so I'm going to take it. Yep, okay, thank you. Very awesome guides you have, by the way. Oof. So They want to do everything. That the lack of communication is what's sticking this up. And so here's where all the good stuff is, and I hope you all feel better. They feel the same way as you do, and you kind of feel like you've been doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like they've been doing all these, like, like they're the one that's been, yes, here we go. They are the one who has been doing the offers, being the emotionally stable one, creating a beautiful life for you, trying to keep it this way, right? An equal partnership, an equal thing. They want it to change. I feel like you feel the same way about them because of how you feel like they have a problem with you. And so when we look at how they actually feel, we get Judgment, which is all about wanting a second chance, wanting to rise to the occasion. So some of you might have someone, and this is so collective that I'm just going to go with like that main message of like, they feel like they've been doing more. They want you to change so it can stay like this more. Like they want you to make them feel like you're doing this, even if you have been. And I think what's going on here is a different in love language. Okay. And you can look up books on love language if you want. I'm not going to give you a big lecture on it. Am I? Like, for example, I'm a very intellectual person and I need someone to tell me that they care about me. I need someone to tell me, I believe you, I understand you, you're okay just the way you are, etc. And then my partner, the weird guy John who lives in my basement, spoiler alert, he's just my partner. He's my hetero life mate, as they say in Jay and Silent Bob, who were platonic, by the way. But they were still hetero life mates because they would never separate. So John and I laughingly refer to ourselves sometimes as as our lifetime, our life mate, our hetero life mate. Anyway, he has a love language of doing deeds, right? So like I've never cleaned my car ever since I've been with him, and I didn't own a car before him. So because we met when we were like 12. Okay. So anyway, I've never had to clean it. I just go out there sometimes and it's clean, and he like put in a new stereo or something or like fixed something that's been broken forever. And I'm like, oh, way to go. Good guy. And so he does so many things like that, but then I still get like pissy whiny about like, you don't tell me you love, and he tells me he loves me all the time, but like, I'm like, you didn't tell me if you believe me, you need to tell me this is okay, that kind of thing. When his actions pretty much speak volumes about how I'm just okay the way I am, that he doesn't want to leave me, that he wants to make sure he takes care of me, all of that good stuff, right? That he still feels this way because we've been together 24 years. And he just does it differently. And like, it took me like 20 years to like figure that out. When we were young, I would like be such a little like, like, no, I'm not going to give myself too hard of a time. I had reasons for the way I, a lot of trust issues. There was a lot of, and I feel that here, like that trauma bonding thing we talked about earlier. I feel like some of you are, oh man, like you trauma bonded because you were able to find comfort with each other because like you came from like similar backgrounds, right? And this is not a personal story. John and I didn't trauma bond. That guy is the most, I'm not going to say he's not privileged. Like he had a hard life, but he just handles life better. Like he just handles trauma better. I think he had some good parenting, he had like some really healthy friends that were consistently with him throughout his life, that they kept each other on track, kept each other off drugs, like to the point where they didn't even really try anything, and they all ended up going to college together, or in close proximity to each other and keeping in touch. They're still in touch, a lot of them. And so it's not a trauma bonding thing with him. With you guys, though, it kind of was for a lot of you. And so I feel like the trauma thing is a little bit of the extra edge to this because both of you, because you're marrying each other so much, both of you are so still worried about somebody effing you over again and like betraying you. And it doesn't matter if you've known them for 24 years, right? Because the people who are closest to you did you dirty, possibly, okay, in some way. And it might have been unintentional on their part. Who cares, right? We're here now. And so I feel like you have so much hope and comfort in each other, but there's also that little part inside of you that's like, I'm going to end up alone. Everybody's going to betray me, etc. And that's the part I can relate to, you know, in other relationships besides the, you know, my partner, friendships, family. I'm like that, you know, and yeah, and to him to a certain extent, you know, I'm always waiting for that other shoe to drop, right? And so your person is going through that exact same thing. And so what needs to happen to get past all of this, and I mixed these all up, but I'm gonna put them back in the order they were, is to focus on the fact that your person wants to fix this too, okay? This is what I want you to take away from this reading. Your person wants to fix this too. It does not matter if this is romantic, platonic, professional, etc. Familial. Thank you. Strength. They want the strength to see it through. They want you to be strong like you were. They want to step up for you if that needs to be done. Okay. And the main thing that's holding you all back is some kind of, you're just not telling each other about it. Maybe one of the bonds you have with each other is that you've been able to understand each other without really speaking words to each other, right? And that's so awesome when you find those people. I've had a lot of them in the course of when I was teaching. There were certain kids where we would just look at each other and understand, you know, what I wanted them to do, or like what they needed to do, or we'd have an empathetic moment between each other, like, oh, this sucks. Like, why is that fire alarm going off right now? You know, like, we were like just getting somewhere, you know, that kind of thing. But the other part of that is that, you know, both of you, it seems, need to have some of that for reassurance because of that trauma, that reassurance that part of you inside needs. So I have a really strong feeling that the oracle card from the childhood healing, what's it called? The inner child healing oracle deck is going to probably mirror both of you as well. But yeah, you feel like stuck. You don't know how to move forward and you have fear of the future. Okay. Maybe they're not so great at communicating, or maybe they're not so great with confrontation. I'm just going to lay these on their sides. We need to be getting over them anyway, because this is the area where you are blocked. But the moon also talks about your intuition, okay? And your intuition with this person is strong. Like I was saying, like a lot of you just don't even have to speak. You know what the other one's feeling. For some of you, it's just because you've known each other for so long. For others, it's just because you're that connected. And so this card is also a promise that the light's going to shine through. I also like that you're both in it to win it. All right. So if you feel like your person's not in it to win it, like stick around, because they might be and you just don't see it, or you might just need a different pile. So maybe like watch another pile too to get a second opinion, just in case. All right. I want to get some oracle. Spirit, show me their person's animal energy today. Oh my, they gave me a few, so it's complicated. Raven, prepare for change. Okay, let's keep going. Ladybird, accept happiness and good fortune. And sheep, act with fortitude and cooperation. Okay. I love how they're hugging each other. Like, I feel like you guys are going to be okay. They want this to work. Their animal energy is that they want it to work so bad, and they want to accept happiness and good fortune. They're ready for that with you. But they're scared that things will change, and they are prepared to recover if like you're not in it to win it with them. That's also, I think, your energy as well, but we're going to get you your own just to give you a separate voice here. But it's that waiting for the other shoe to drop, being always prepared for change, right? Which, yes, it can't. I know it's hard when you're a trauma survivor, you guys, because I am too. It's so hard to know when it's okay to rest And I want to also bring up the fact that the breakdown and communication card that we have is the Four of Swords, which is resting before you have to go to battle again, right? And having swords hanging at the ready to go and right down there by your side all the time. And just, when is it okay to take a break and relax and say, I'm okay, I'm safe, everything is fine, right? I understand that struggle so hard. So hard, I don't think I'll ever be able to be normal. But anyway, you feel me? So they're in it to win it. So if you have doubts about that, let those go, because the only thing they're worried about is you not being in it to win it with them. Okay, let's keep on moving. Let's get some for you. I see 3 for you. Okay. Ooh, I'm excited for some reason. Be strong and courageous. Remember, they had the strength card. They want you to be strong and stand up for each other. We have the cat. Be relaxed and independent. Yes. Like everything is okay. Like that's like the main thing that your guides are trying to tell you. Like this connection is okay. You guys are like going to be okay. And yes, seize opportunities courageously. This is an opportunity, you all. Like, look at all their heart chakras. And their soul, and like going down into their solar plexus chakras, right? We were talking about that. I feel like your heart chakra and your solar plexus are so connected to one another, because your heart, when it feels love, it feels danger. So relatable, you guys. Holy cow. No wonder no wonder it's so tight, you know? I'm like, if I do what I call a anxiety hiccup, I apologize in advance. I see 1 for your person. I see 1 for you. So we're going to look at what you all need to heal. Set your intention. Yeah. Therein. Set your intention. Okay. They need to step up too, right? And so the best way to get them to do that is just to show them that you're in it to win it. Communicate that to them, you know, be bold. Y'all have been together for a long time. I know you just speak with your eyes, some of you, but you can speak with your words too. Open. Oh, look at that. I can't even believe it. Wow. You guys. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. All right. Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, like, honestly, so just talk to each other, you guys. You know, pray to your creator to give you the strength. Channel that solar plexus to speak from your heart, right? And then just maybe work on your heart chakras in case you need help with that coming out more. Okay, so yellow, green, blue are the colors you might want to like for this energy. So if you're lighting candles, you might want to light those colors. Okay, if you are, I know there's rules to candle magic, but just make sure that you just follow your rules, however you like to do it, however it's been working for you. Anyway, but yeah, like wear your little crystals, do your little things, you know, focus on those little areas, you know, and see if your higher purpose can kind of straighten them out, right? And just kind of open your heart up and realize that there's no need to be afraid that your person cares about you just as much as you care about them. And this is even if you're professional. Like if this was I know we talked a lot about just like in general, but you know, like you work with them. Sometimes it's like being married, right? Okay. If this was helpful to you, please tell me how in the comments section. If you would like a different topic, give me topic ideas. I love those. I've never gotten one before, so I would love to have one. If you would like to book a private reading with me, I have done those. There are ways to do them in the description box, and you can always, you know, contact me. My email is down there. You can hit me up on Instagram, and we can chat about, what I offer. Okay. We can also just chat if you're a person that just wants to know more about stuff, because I know things. All right. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. Hello, hello, pile 2. So if you picked whatever this is, I think it's a jasper, maybe. I call it mustard heart. Anyway, I really don't call it that, but I will now. All right. These are kind of a mustardy kind of. I love mustard colored yellow. I have a million sweaters in this color. The goat, excellent. Fearless, I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. The goat. Okay. So we're trying to figure out what's wrong with this person and what they have a problem with you. Okay. There's a couple of different things here, and I feel like this might be a mirroring situation. I can't say that word, mirroring. It's just very hard for me. Oh, and my camera is too. Come on, camera. Don't let me down. Okay. Anyway. It could be that this person has a problem with you because you are the goat, greatest of all time in their eyes. Or they could be mad at you because they think they're the goat and you don't. Okay, so, oh, thank goodness, this might be a petty person that we get to talk about. I hope. If you don't feel like your person is petty, this might not be the pile for you, but stick around. We will get to the bottom of this. So, fearless, I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. I feel like there's a lot of stubbornness going on here. And it might be two-way. Not that I'm trying to drag you under the bus with this person. I'm on your side, pile 2. Please don't worry about that ever. Okay? They're going to take their side over you. Unless you, I don't know, do something I morally object to, of course. Something that is against the law, of course. Anyway, let's find out more. Oh, lovers, interesting. So this might be a breakup. Gross, guys. Justice. I'm not going to say any more until we go further. 4 of Swords. Interesting. The World. And the Ace of Swords. I think you might have gotten a different number of cards. It's okay, though. We will get into more of them. All right. So I want you to be able to see the goat. Notice how the goat has a crazy third eye. Or something. But like the eye looks empty for some reason to me. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe you guys are missing something intuitively. That's just something that caught my eye. Interesting. If I get too curious about it, I'm going to grab that book that it comes with, right? Okay. Let's scooch these together since you got 5 of them. They fit nice. Okay. So this could be a breakup for some. Of the people that are watching this for a romantic connection. And that could be like you two, the lovers are very equally matched. And so I feel like this also could be a professional and friendship situation for this thing that I'm about to say. You two might be very equally matched in your skill, in your attractiveness, in your quality for how like snatch you are, right? The kids say that when like you're hot, right? Because people want to snatch you up. Okay. It sounds like really funny to me because I'm from a different generation, but that's a word they use. So if there's a young person out there that appreciates that, let me know. Let me know that I'm still young and hip. Just kidding. I know I'm not. You don't have to tell me I'm not. I already know. All right. I feel like, yeah, there's this like equal balance between you. We have justice there. I feel like both of you also feel like you are the right one in this situation and the other one is wrong. And so that's another issue. I feel like professionally, if this is a professional crowd, they're in competition with you. Like you both kind of respect each other, maybe. I'm kind of feeling actually. Because you see the other one being skilled, but like you don't like each other on like a personal level, perhaps. Like maybe they're a little bit more cutthroat and you're not, or, maybe they're a little bit more whiny and you're not. I don't know, like however you want to think about it. It seems as though you're pretty equally matched in skill and accomplishment. And so I don't know if there's actually a problem here. Like, I don't know if they actually have, like you actually did anything. Does that make sense? Other than just be yourself and kind of be the same way they are when it comes to how you compete with one another. If you're not competing, you're like, I don't compete. Miriam, I get it. I don't compete either. Like, I can get competitive, but not to the point of getting petty. All right. If somebody's really going to make if somebody, and I am going to be honest and say that I do this thing where if I feel like they're going to be petty, then I'll just back off and let them have whatever they want, because I don't want to. And I was definitely like this in the professional world, because I was in the professional world in a small town and I was, an outsider. Not to mean that I didn't feel welcomed, but you felt it, like there was a bit of a difference between what I could get away with and what other people could get away with, because I was, the new kid for, 13 years straight. So like, if it feels like somebody's going to get off to a petty point, I'm going to back down generally. If I don't, then I end up getting like, kind of emotional about it and pissy. And really in my heart, I'm just passionate about stating my truth, but everybody else just takes it as me being like a B word, because I'm always so sweet all the rest of the time. So when I finally lay it out, I usually maybe lay it out a little more masculine than anybody expects. And they don't like that. So there's that. Okay. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I don't really feel like they're like trying to, well, hang on. There is a lack of communication between you. I feel like the two of you, if this is romantic, like you're not speaking, or if you are speaking to each other, you're not saying what you really want to say or to each other. Part of what their problem with you, if this is romantic, is they're thinking that you're not communicating with them. They might feel like they need a rest from you from time to time. This is not just romantic. This is across the board for some people. Remember, if it doesn't resonate, don't worry about it. I feel like and this is the other reason it feels romantic as well, they do sort of respect you and you sort of respect them. And that's why this is so interesting. But it's also telling, because we don't really worry about people that we don't like, about what they think about us as much, unless we think they can influence someone else that we do like, right? It affects us, but not as much. And so I feel like because you are so worried about this, you kind of respect them. I do feel like they kind of respect you. This might be in the professional world. You might have worked well together at some point. Yeah. And I feel like that time passed with the world, that era between you of good times has passed. Okay. For others of you, and this feels more like the professional or friendship types. We haven't really talked about friendship yet. This could be a friendship connection as well. Familial as well. It could be family. Where they want you to be done. So like if it's professional, like they want to beat you. They want to like conquer you. They want your era of greatness to end. All right. Not that they're going to hurt you or anything like that. If you feel like anyone's going to hurt you, you need to go report them to the police and talk to somebody that can help you with that sort of thing. Keep yourself safe. But like end whatever, like end having to see you every day, and this is very much more of the friend petty energy that I'm getting, the professional petty energy that I'm getting from this person. It's not for everyone, because for some of you, this was like a friendship type thing, or a connection type thing, or a relationship that has ended or isn't the same as it used to be, but you still have some residual respect for each other. This is more like the petty energy that I was picking up with before, where they're like, I'm the greatest of all time. I don't care what you think, right? Uh, I do what I want. And so I feel like that's like a more petty energy. I feel like that's two separate messages. So I hope that's clear. That batch, that petty batch, they want you to end. So like the clue that you're in the right pile for that is if you're dealing with somebody that you know is petty, that you know never really liked you, okay? That kind of thing, that they just thought they were the greatest of all time. For that group, this information just means that they see you as equal to them, which means you're kind of a threat. They would never communicate that out loud, but here we are. All right. Whew. All right, you little rocks. Your little wobbly sounds are driving me nuts. Oh, thank you. Anyway, I don't know if you could hear that, but I really should go back and apologize to pile 1 because that was probably happening that whole time. Whew. So, wait, I think there's another one. Yep, I heard you. Get out of there. All right, sorry. Okay. They're also spying on you. So that goes for the petty people. That also goes for the people that were an old friend. They keep tabs, okay? I'm not saying they're stalking you. If you think someone's stalking you, you need to go to the police. They are just, they check your social media posts periodically. Even if they like don't follow you anymore, they'll still like go on and look at anything that you have public so that they can roll their eyes for the petty people, or like just to check up and see like what you're up to. It is competitive, and so a lot of them are doing it to compare themselves to what your life is. That's also happening. So if that makes you feel a little hee I'll take it. They would never admit that, right? But that's, yeah, kind of what they're doing. Oh, there's just so much energy. I think I'm ready to move on to tarot number 2. What's their problem? What's kind of interesting about this? Nah, I'm good. Never mind. I'm just going to move on. All right, we have 10 of Pentacles. Death. 7 of Pentacles. The King of Wands. And the World again. Okay. So I feel like it's kind of interesting. In the last pile, this was more like the energy of each person because they were mirroring each other a lot more than you guys are. But for you, I feel like this is sort of advice on how to deal with this situation with this person, like kind of what to do, what not to do kind of thing. I'm also going to give you a little bit of, oh man, I don't know if I should do this. I feel a little bit morally conflicted, but your guides are, your guides are your guides. They're going to get mad if I don't tell you. So I'm just going to say it. Your guides are kind of showing me some strategy to use, not against them, but something to know about them that kind of makes them seem a little less, powerful. Okay, like a chink in their armor, if you will. My hope is that it will help you empathize with them as opposed to be like, this is how I will destroy them. If you do something like that, you're on your own. I'm not going to condone that, okay? I'm not going to do revenge stuff. I got enough bad karma on my soul. So I want you to take it as a lesson of how to empathize with them. All right. And how to put this thing to bed. Okay. Because like, I'm pretty much feeling like this person is not going to change. Like I'm feeling very stubborn energy. What I feel about you is that you don't think you're the greatest of all time, and you aren't like below compromising, right? But I feel like they see you as like kind of equal to them. Does that make sense? And so in all of the cases, and so for the petty people, I feel like those people are threatened by you in that way. And that's why they wanted you gone, right? And all that stuff. And so that's why your guides are giving you kind of like some armor or just a little bit of intel that you're not going to use for revenge. You're just going to use it for your like own benefit to help yourself, to possibly even empathize with them. Don't do anything. Anyway. You've been warned. Of course, if you're an old school practitioner of magic, you'll know about that rule. And I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not going to say it comes back times 3 because that's not the original rule. So anyway, you can look it up. So this person poses no threat to you other than they're irritating. Okay. And so that's why I'm saying don't really do anything to them, because if somebody's just being irritating, it's not actually affecting you professionally at all. Okay. Or if it's a friendship socially, like they're not turning anyone's heads away from you. Okay. They're not out there. I don't even think they're out there bad mouthing you. They would never admit that. All right. Some people might still think that you guys get along just fine. All right. Others not. Others just think that you're too much alike, and that's why you guys bicker sometimes. Right. And those people are just more intuitive. They understand the situation better. They might have known you longer. You're going to be fine. Like, you're still going to end up doing all the wonderful things that are coming to you in your life. And that's actually a little bonus from your guides, that things in your life are going to turn out quite well, by the way. There's no need to make any big changes. And things might change on their own after this reading, because I feel like your guides are trying to make sure that you hear that they want to make sure that you hear that things can always change, and things very likely will change if you can help change the way you feel about how everything's going on. Okay. This is where the intel comes in. The 7 of Cups. This person isn't as sure-footed as you think they are. Oh, I know. They are, some of them might have even an addiction problem of some kind. It doesn't have to be a substance. It can be other addictions. It can be addictions to behavior. Goat behavior like this can be a little bit addictive, of like not seeing other people's views, not considering that you might be wrong. It's a good thing to be confident. It really is. But I feel like you can take it too far, and this person kind of has in a lot of these instances. Okay, I'm talking about the petty people still. I'll get to the romantic people in a minute. I'm sorry it's taking so long. They could have an addiction problem. They don't think as clearly. They've also got a lot more stuff emotionally going on with them than just what they do with you. And it's way bigger. And so I guess that's a way of saying, like, if you feel like, why me? Why are they like this with me? They're actually worse to some people. That just came in for some of you. You'll know who you are. The action that your guides want you to take is to just stand in your own excellence. I know that that person, like some of you, I feel like aren't competing. Some of you, I feel like might be. You don't need to. You don't need to do anything to them. When people have this going on, others are going to notice, because you can't always watch six, 7 things all at once. Here, I've got you holding this kind of stance, this kind of action, and this is what they should be doing too. So hopefully they're watching this too. Wouldn't that be weird and funny if 2 people both watched the same pick a card reading about each other and actually got something out of it? Oh my word. It's probably happened so many times. Because I'm telling you what, if you live in a small town, like all the people you know, and like even big towns, you'll notice like everybody gets the same like products. because they all get the same ads on their phones. Anyway, it gets more and more like tight around, like the tighter your circle gets. I live in such a small town. It's like it becomes apparent like really quickly how much everybody's influenced by each other, and like they don't maybe realize it. It's really it's interesting, and I probably don't know how I do it because I've been living in towns like this my whole life, just never in one for as long as everybody else. But I'm working on it on this one. Okay, so King of Wands is all about standing in your own power and being inspired by yourself. I know that sounds kind of egotistical, but you're a confident person too. And so you can stand in your excellence. This person is not going to drag you down from this. They're just irritating to you, okay? And these are the petty people I'm talking to still. And it should honestly come to an end eventually. Like I feel like it's your state of mind. Once you let it go, like it's not going to be an issue for you anymore. I think a lot of you were kind of like, you came here to find out, what did I do? You know, like what moment, you know, sent us into this spiral of them just being an obnoxious, you know, shiz turd. Right? And so I feel like once you change your perspective, or once you've seen this and realize that you didn't do anything, that you can move on from that. For those of you that this is like romantic breakup vibe or friendship that broken up, with the friendship one, they're not bad mouthing you. They're not going to admit it. They are, it's most likely going to blow over, and no one even will really even notice that there's like a rift between you. Like everybody else has just kind of accepted the situation for how it is. And like once you do too, it will be over for you as well in the friendship department. They'll probably still be around, but now that you know this about them, you're going to start seeing it more because you guys are smart. You're good at all the stuff you do, which means you're very intelligent. You're going to like start watching them, and you're going to start seeing that 7 of Cups energy. Like look it up and see, you know, what it can mean, because it also means like having a lot of opportunity. Like it doesn't always mean just bad things, but it also is like not knowing what to choose. And so they have a little bit of like insecurity where you don't in some area. All right. Even if it's a small one, because it's a big reading. Okay. As far as like the guides are telling you that with like romance or breakups, that some of you, your person could change. I feel like that's very, very few. I feel like for some of you, if you know it's done, you know it's done. But I feel like there's something between you that might change still and turn nice. Okay. That'll open up opportunities for you, that some of you could fall back in love with this person, or like with this friend or family member, right? Not that you're in love with them. Oh, don't make it gross. You get what I mean? Like we love people or we don't, so we can fall in and out of love with everyone. Okay. I feel like that this cycle is going to come to an end in some way that's going to leave you with peace. I feel this for all of you. So if you don't end up with the person you broke up with, like this is just all this clarity. Take it more with the petty type energy. Not that your person was petty, but just take it in the energy of your person wasn't as equipped as you thought they were. And so don't fear. You're going to meet someone that's going to make you feel this, right? That's what I feel for the romance of the broken up people who are not with their person anymore and don't plan to get back with that person. For some of you, I do see people falling back together and falling back in love with each other and learning what you've learned. It'll open up all these new venues for you as your relationship develops. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm going to get some animal energy for them. And I only need 1 card, but if they get more than 1, then I would give you the same number. So I see 2. I see 2 for you. Love it. All right, we'll start with them. The Swan, demonstrate grace and majesty. And then we also have the Llama. I want to say Yama. Set clear boundaries and enforce them. But whenever I hear people say it, they say Llama. But it looks like Yama. I don't know. Tell me how to properly say that in the comments section, please. I love to learn new things, or I can Google it when we're done. No big deal. All right. So your person, interesting. Yeah, like I don't think they do this with you. They're doing this with, this is another intel thing, okay? If you're dealing with the petty crowd, we're gonna get rid of the petty crowd first so that I have to end on that. They don't do this with you because you guys aren't that close, but they don't set clear boundaries and enforce them with people that they're close to in their emotional life. That's really personal information. I feel kind of ornery for telling you that, but it's what they just showed me. And so, if they were watching this at the same time, their message would be to set clear boundaries and enforce them. And it would actually make them feel more secure in themselves, and they wouldn't need to compare and compete as much. And then, yeah, they need to demonstrate grace and majesty. Sorry, I can't speak. Majesty. My poor kitty is so mad at me. If you hear rustling, it's because she's in her little paper box. And she's trying to take a nap, and she's angry at me that I'm not sitting down and just mindlessly watching television while the other kitties are being good and sleeping too. So I apologize for that, and I apologize to her. Who's he? Your guide? Somebody has a guide here who's a guy. Whoever this he is, okay. They want you to look up Archangel Bishop. And yeah, that's what they want you to do. And if Archangel Bishop is it Bishop? No, it's like, oh gosh, it's like Bahokpi. Way off. Sorry, I was reading it from like way far away. I'll just put it up there because I can't read it. It's definitely not Bishop. Sorry, I was like trying to tune into your person, and then all of a sudden this dude's like, hey. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I know I said it wrong. Stop. They're gonna give me enough crap in the comments. You don't need to give me. Thank you. All right. Demonstrate grace and majesty. And like, I feel like they will. See how it's the swan? The swan develops into its beauty, remember? So like your person, especially if they're young, I feel like there could be some change with them for the petty crowd. For some, not all. And you might not see it. And so like, that's the other thing. Okay. But that's what they need to do. If they did that, they wouldn't be so much this. But you need to hear about them, that they're doing that because they don't do it in their private life. And so they're kind of overcompensating professionally, probably. And they're just very, very jealous of you in the petty crowd. For romantic people, if you get back together with this person, that person needs to learn to set clear boundaries and enforce them. And you need to do the same. And then, yeah, to be gracious to one another. And they need to learn to be gracious to you. So if you do get back with this person and they're not being gracious to you, then that's your like sign that you need to go. Okay. Because you never know which cup this crowd's going to choose when they're that running around. I'm not talking about people, y'all. I don't feel any like cheating vibes at this point. But if like that's why you broke up, then maybe. All right. So take that for a message if there's somebody out there that heard that. Excuse me. So much energy today. It's so wild. Oh. All right. For romantic people that are staying broken up, you're doing the right thing because, like I said, you're not going to know which cup they're going to choose. Okay, I think I got that one. Friendship, same thing. It could be like a friendship that you've decided is going to stay ended. It could be a friendship that is going to spring back to life. That was your advice, right? About being gracious to each other. If they're not being gracious to you, you know you're done. And just setting clear boundaries, like them learning to set clear boundaries. For professional petty people that are in the professional crowd, they just need to learn that. But the reason why they're doing that, the intel for you is that they're not as emotionally sound as you thought. All right, let's keep going. For you, hedgehog. Be a magnet for light, love, and joy. Yes, do not stoop to their level if they're petty. All right. Yep. Spread heart healing with joy. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, like killing them with kindness is actually going to be pretty good. And I feel like honestly, like you're not even going to be killing them with kindness. I feel like a lot of you are actually feeling empathetic towards them. It kind of takes the sting out of their bite, doesn't it? When you find out that they're not as equipped or that they're not as, and honestly, like that they're not as conniving as you thought. And it's also nice to know that you didn't do anything wrong. I'm feeling that across the board. Like you just didn't back down, and that's okay. Like keep on doing that. But yeah, be sweet. The more kind and the more you lead with love, the better it is to just like deal with situations like that. So that was why they told you this, okay, was so that you understood that they're going through a lot. And even if this is somebody you've broken up with, that you're never going to be friends or lovers with again, take into account that you did the right thing because you don't want to be in this forever. And like they've got a long way to go and y'all are just kind of moving faster than they are. So it's just kind of time for some of you to move on. Just know that like they weren't doing it because they like totally were spiteful and hated you, right? Even the people that like want you gone, it's not because they like hate your bones and want you dead or anything. They just don't want you there competing with you. They don't want you there reminding them of their shortcomings, okay? And so with the breakup energy, also I'm going to throw out that warning. A lot of times with breakups, when you get over them, that's when they come towards you to try to get back together. If you do not want to get back together with them, you need to be honest with yourself about that. If you're not sure, because some of you are ending up back together, make sure that they are demonstrating grace. They're being gracious to you and they're showing majesty towards you, that they're actually appreciating you, that you're both setting firm boundaries and sticking to them, that you are being a magnet for love, light, and joy, that you're doing your part, being sweet to them, okay? If you get back together, that's kind of a message for some of you that get back together. All right. Whee, we're almost done. Everybody's like, thank God, this was boring as hell. There's your person. This is just what needs to heal between you. So this part will go nice and quick because they're pretty self-explanatory cards here. What they need to do: wake up to who you truly are. Yeah. What are we talking about? Like, yeah, they're good. They're great. They're so great. They don't need to do all the stuff they've been doing if they're being petty, right? They can just enjoy themselves. And then what does you need to heal? That sounded really funny. Walk in the woods. Yeah, just kind of put them behind you if they're the petty, all right? If it's romance, help them wake up to who they truly are by showing them that sweetness, okay, if you're staying together. If they're not with you, it's their job to just wake up. They just need to wake up and figure out what they need to do. It's not your problem anymore, right? It's not going to affect you, is what I'm seeing here. Just walk away from that feeling. Walk away from worrying about them. And I want all of you to walk away from that worry. Okay, even if you're with that person, walk away from the worry. Because it's not about you. It was more about them, like across the board. That's the main thing that I'm seeing here. Yes. Did I cover everybody? Frig, I hope so, because I'm done. I hope this was helpful. If it was, you can tell me how in the comments section. You can give me topic ideas there as well. You can also book a private reading with me. There are ways to do so in the description box. I promise I'm not as scattered when I do this because I'm only talking to one person and one guide. Well, no, that's not true. Y'all have lots of guides. So we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. Hello, pile 3. So if you pick this, I don't know what it is, but it's peachy and it's cute. And it's pretty. Oh, and I'm going to put it in here so it doesn't rattle because it'll drive me nuts. Okay, we're going to start off to see what is their problem with you. What is their problem? We have stone circle number 39. In ceremony, you conjure a devotion so deeply it reflects thy worship into yourself. Interesting. I feel some spirituality drama. So some people, some people go to church. I don't know if those people necessarily watch readings, depending on what churches they go to. But I feel like there's some kind of like, if it's not church drama, then maybe community or some kind of a group. I mean, these are like pagan cards, so we can apply them to other situations. This could be a circle of people. Like you could even sit around a desk together. So it could be professional. Still trying to get a sense of all that. There's so much around me right now. It's like crowded in here. I just hit the friggin' thing with my forehead. All right. I have a different setup today. This is a standing desk. I did this in pile 1, I think. So maybe you want to watch pile 1 as well and waste another hour of your life. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. I feel like there's one person maybe in this group that's watching that you're turning 39 maybe. I just feel that. And maybe you like bees. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was just a specific thing. You're in the right spot. I feel like that this is saying that you conjure a devotion so deeply, it reflects thy worship into yourself. So like whatever you're doing within this circle that we're talking about, and this could be a family circle. This could be, so like if you're looking for like a romance connection, I don't think this is your pile. Thank God, I hate romance. Can I say that since nobody was here for that? If you hate me, you can just go find, like, pile 2 had one and pile 1 has one. Had a lot of romance in those. If this is about a group, like I'm feeling family, work, friends, all right? There may be people who, I don't feel it though. There might be some people who have interdated at this point, but like, I feel like mostly this is like a platonic situation. Thank God, I never get those. Oh, I just need to pause because I'm so happy. Okay, so this is a group. Wee-hee-hee. So what I'm feeling is some jealousy. I'm not going to lie. I always like cringe when people tell me that. Like if I hear that, they're like, oh, they're just jealous, sweetie. And I'm like, I'm not that cool. I think it's something else. Like, and then I feel arrogant if I think that if I even suspect that's what it might be. I feel like I'm arrogant for thinking that, and I'll discount like my feelings about it. But people get jealous for all kinds of different things. And just because you notice that they are, it doesn't mean that you're petty. So just keep that in mind. Because in ceremony, so whenever you're in your circle together, whether this is a community, I feel like for some of you, sorry, I'm out of breath. I was running around, trying to do something. Good grief. I was hearing this loud screeching noise and I could not find it. I think it was coming from outside actually, but I'm hearing impaired. And so I don't always know where the sounds are coming from. I also apologize for the sound of my tea kettle in the background. It should hiss at us any second now. And if it's too much, I can put on headphones. So anyway, when you're in your circle, you conduct yourself in such a way that it's quite admirable. And there's like people in that circle don't like that. It makes them feel like they look bad. So petty energy right off the beat. I hate it. Anyway, not as much as I hate romance though. I've never talked that much smack on romance. Usually I just say gross when it happens and then I move on, but I'm just celebrating this so much. It's going to annoy you. For like family, I also feel the same pettiness. Like anytime I don't see them like maybe, and that if this isn't like your family, then it might be talking about some other social situation, or you might be in a different pile. But for some of you that are watching this for family, it's like, I feel like you guys don't, or like at least they don't always give you the praise or each other praise. They like, I see more of a situation where somebody's doing well in their life and they all sit around and go, oh, I hear so-and-so's got engaged. And they're like, oh, well, hopefully they don't move too fast, instead of like, oh, that's great for them. You know, I'm picking up on that energy. I feel like you have been aware of that for a long time if this is family and you've decided to just not do that. Somehow you got inspired to do things differently. So that might kind of make some of you the black sheep in the family. For professional, I feel like you conduct yourself, I feel like you kind of might be in a toxic workplace, to be honest. And so if you're not in a toxic workplace, this might be about some friendship circles. But so yeah, toxic workplace. So whenever you look good or whenever something good happens to somebody, people feel or bicker about how they're not deserving, or people feel, and you know what I'm saying? So yeah, okay. Let's do some more. We have 6 of Wands. This reading is going to go so much faster because there's less people and less situations that I have to go through. All the other piles had them all. So if you're a mix, you might want to check one of those out. The Devil. Remember, these are your person's perceptions or the group's perceptions, not necessarily the truth. Oh yeah, I did this every time. Okay. Sorry, it's not super pretty, but you can still see it. Yeah, it's mostly petty, y'all. This is going to be a faster reading because, like, I'm getting so much sameness across the board that it's crazy. So if this is family, friends, work, it doesn't matter. Like, it's kind of toxic, y'all. Like, and I'm not saying that all these cards are toxic, but it's like you're an admired person. You have admirable qualities. And instead of raising you up and like appreciating you for them, like they're kind of trying to drag you down a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's sad. Like, I came from a family like that myself, and I've worked in places like that where people don't look at each person and say, this person has a skill. They have something good about them. They have something useful, something that we all could gain, you know, and appreciate from them. But instead, it's more of this, yeah, I mean, and it doesn't matter what you do. It's like, let's go back to like that dating thing for a second, like with family, you know, how we were saying they got engaged and they weren't happy. So like, let's put it on like, okay, so say they said that, oh, hopefully they don't move too fast, blah, blah, blah. Well, say that you decide not to move fast and you're just kind of like waiting it out, you know, and you've got like a solid partner and you're really happy and you're just kind of waiting until it feels right, or waiting until you finish college or whatever. And they're like, oh, what's the holdup, guys? Why aren't you married yet? And then when you get married, oh, are you going to have kids? Oh, don't have kids too fast. It doesn't matter. Whichever one you're doing, they will do the opposite reaction. Okay. And the same cautionary like BS, so that when you fall on your face, not that you will, but when you do, right, when they hope you do, kind of, they'll be right there to say, oh, I told you so. And then still act like they're going to be the ones that'll stand by you no matter what. Ew. And it's a whole group, man. For some people, I feel like it's a whole town. Ugh. And like, I get that because I've been in small towns where like the whole town like hated your guts and there was like nothing you could do about it. Like I dealt with that when I was a kid. And when you're a kid, all they care about are who your parents are, right? And so in small towns, and so if you don't have the right parents, then woo, you know, like everybody turns into a big giant jerk face. Okay, you're actually a very well balanced person, and they know you are, and that's like why their behavior is so despicable to me. I feel like we've been in the same place. Wow. And I'm not saying that like, you know, I'm not even like trying to like boost your confidence. Like, and I'm not like, when I was in that situation, I wasn't trying to boost my own confidence either. It was just like, I saw them doing it to other people. So then when it happened to me too, like, well, put 2 and 2 together. Like, I mean, it's, you know, and it's a dysfunction and it's something that you can heal from. And like, honestly, I'm going to be honest, like my siblings and I, healed from that, from the family experiences that we had. And it wasn't just in one, it wasn't just like our parents, like it wasn't just, it was extended family as well that just kind of had that, like almost like they were trying to do it to motivate you in some cases, not all of them. Some were just trying to drag you down for various reasons that were dysfunctional that came from, their parents and stuff like that. But like, we also hung out with a lot, when you're a kid, like you hang out with other people and you stay the night at their houses and stuff, and you are so young and impressionable that like, you get impressed by what's happening around you at other people's houses too. And you start comparing your life to theirs, etc. and so forth. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Spirit, why am I talking about that? In any event, like it is something that can be healed. And so, some people are never going to change, but like the one thing that I'll always say when somebody's dealing with somebody that has a problem with you, and it's so kind of cool that I'm not sensing anybody in here where anything is actually accurate. I feel like if it was accurate, you probably wouldn't even be at this reading because you wouldn't care what their problem with you is, right? If you were what they think you are. Which is like, they don't really even think that you're anything bad. Like they just nitpick everything they can about any imperfection that a person has to make themselves feel better. And they don't just do it to you. They do it to everyone. They do it to each other. And you've probably seen this. So you didn't do anything. Like, I don't even actually see them having a clear grasp on what to like talk smack on you about. Not that they don't, they do. But it's more like that whole, well, hopefully you don't do this. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like that. Oh yeah, she thinks it's going to be cool, but that kind of thing. And so it's still like wrapped around like your accomplishments and your good qualities. So they just be jelly. I'm just saying, let's get some clarification tarot to back up my argument here. They'll never admit that's what they're doing. Because who would ever admit that they feel insecure? They would rather make up something, okay? I'm not seeing a lot of people making up horrible things. I see them exacerbating stuff about everybody. But I don't see like the all and out like lying of like making up stories. But I have encountered that before in my own personal life. And it's crazy that adults do that too. I thought it would stop in high school, but it didn't. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. I'm just going to keep going. Because this is like a mix of like advice for you and stuff that they're doing. We're moving past like what you did or why they don't like you or whatever, because there doesn't seem to be a really good explanation for that. Anything else? At least not one worth talking about, just like pettiness. Okay. Show me one more for that one. Okay, so your guides are going to have some advice for you for sure in this spread here, because we've already kind of indicated why they're the way they are or what their problem is with you. So if somebody says like you did something like, oh, what you did, and like they're talking about some weird petty crap, or like maybe you weren't as sweet to them as you normally are, or you weren't as diplomatic as you normally can be, and like they just decide to make that a reason, It's not actually anything like that is connected to what you're actually doing. But I honestly don't even see them doing that. I feel like they're kind of very sneaky about how they kind of cut each other down. Some of them might even do it in the guise of politeness, those backhanded compliments, unsolicited advice that like sounds almost accusatory in some way that you're going to do something wrong or bad. All right. And so don't worry about them trashing you to other people. If you got out of that group, and I know you can't get out of some groups forever, some of them we're stuck with, right? But I want to extend to some of you that that's not true for all. You don't have to be in anybody's life that you don't want to be, and that includes family. It's an extreme choice, but it is a choice. Okay, so just take it as that resonates. Like, you don't have to be a part of any circle that you don't want to be, even a workplace. You can always leave. I see that you're an accomplished person. I doubt that you would have a hard time finding another job. It would just be, how much you're willing to have to work to sacrifice or whatever to get there, given your various circumstances. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this is like your guide saying that you just need to take things slow, but go ahead and continue standing by your truth. All right. But I feel like they almost want you to do a combo between these two, because the Knight or the Queen of Swords is all about like, I say what I want, and if it's the truth, deal with it. She doesn't care how it comes across, okay? If this is professional and like people could use that against you or just cause you more grief because you finally spoke out that way, you totally have the right to speak that way if you want. And for some of you that it's become that time, it might be time. But some of you, your guides are saying to give it a little bit of a wait period before you really like say something that you might regret later, okay? It would be the truth. I'm not discounting that. But the Knight of Pentacles is all about kind of taking your time, making your plans, okay? So if you're thinking about exiting the group, don't do it in a big huffy puffy and storm out, all right, is what their advice is. They're showing me that things are going to change in some way, and it will be replaced with this better energy. But they're not showing me a lot of change with these people. So like it might be something that if you can't exit out of it all the way and just ghost them all entirely forever, that we need to shift how you are dealing with them. Keep in mind, you came here to find out why they were even having a problem with you in the first place, and they don't have a good reason. So like, there's not really a good reason to like worry about that part of it anymore, for sure. Okay. You haven't done anything, and that's across the board, regardless of the situations. All you've done is like better yourself. And that's why they're trying to drag you down. So I was shocked to see the Chariot in reverse, because that's about things falling apart a little bit or not being able to pull things together. To keep this from happening, you need to not sacrifice more than you already have. You may have even apologized for things you didn't, that, you know, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't have, but you might have apologized for things that for wrongs you didn't commit. Okay. Because they like were so, and you knew that when you apologized for it, but you're like, but that's how they see it, so I guess I'll just apologize so that they feel better. Stop doing that. If they're doing that to you, go ahead and go full Queen of Swords on their behinds. Okay. Because F that noise. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm going to get some of their animal energy. Spirit, if I could just one card for them. Thank you so much. Okay. And don't worry, that doesn't mean they're a super sweet person. And for, thank you. Nice. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love these. Okay. So I love how they're like saying to spread the heart healing with joy, but remember, bees can sting, and that's what I see with this. No matter how sweet their little honeys are, and how good they are for the environment, because they are, especially honeybees. And honeybees are not aggressive. You know, they only sting as a last resort, you know, because stinging kills them. But I want you to take that. And we're not talking about honeybees, right? I love bees. They're everywhere. I'm not hating on bees. But your people have stingers, is what this is saying. And they should be spreading heart healing with joy. That would make everything better if they would just accept you and be grateful that they have a nice person in their life. Can you believe that? Like, it drives me crazy. Like, just somebody that wants to try to do a good job. It's insane. So anyway. Oh. Their stingers are not going to go away. And then if you want to take it even further and say that, like, well, they could lose their stinger once they sting you. Yeah, then they die. So, like, that's how friggin' deep it is. What? Yep. So that's their energy. Stay away from those stingers. But also, you can appreciate if it's your family. You know, I know there's love still between families and friends. And so you can allow yourself to like know that they have stingers and just figure out a way to live around them. They're not going to change how they live. Okay. And so you can change how you maneuver around them. And that's kind of where that Knight of Pentacles energy is coming in, right? Moving slow, being calculating. You don't have to walk on eggshells. That's where this balances it out. Stand by your truth. If they get ridiculous, then let them look ridiculous. The point is to stay calm, okay? And don't kick the nest. Ha 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 ha. For you, we have horse. Care for others and let them be free. Yeah, just let them be what they're going to be, because like they ain't going to change for nobody, right? And free yourself from wondering, what did I do? How can I fix it? What should I? All you have to do is stop sacrificing anything to them. Okay, even if that means having to walk away, because then that'll take this and turn it the right side up and you will have your control. Now, for one last little thing. Yes, I'm not done with you yet. I know they're like, you said this was going to be short. You and your person. Ooh, interesting. You guys got 3, and I'm going to honor that. I'm going to make this them, you. You're going to have some healing messages in here for individual, and then what you both need to heal from, okay? For them, we have heal your rejection wound. Oh, yeah. See, every time I get into these, and I'm like, they're petty, they're bad, then I feel bad for them. You know, this is why they're being this way, right? They've got a rejection wound of some kind. And that's why they drag others down. It's not right. It's not the right way to deal with it. But it always makes me empathize with people when I can see their suffering. And that might help you deal with them as well. We also have plant a seed of self-forgiveness. That's something both of you need to do. And then we have for you, listen to your unmet needs. Yeah. No one's been worrying about your needs, right? And I feel like you've been standing up for yourself pretty well, but kick it up a notch. Like, be even nicer to yourself. Like, I hope this is the last why are they doing this to me reading you ever watch, because that's as much energy as you need to spend on it, okay? Because you haven't done anything wrong and these guys are just going to keep doing what they're doing. Can anyone change? Yes. If they were watching this, being like, what's her problem with me? I don't know that would ever happen. But if they were, they would be getting some sound advice too, you know? And so just kind of apply that to your heart and apply it to, if you can't get away from them, if you need to get away, your guides are giving you full measure. You're fine. You're wonderful. Like, people are not going to be like turned off by you. Okay. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Oh, I thank you so much. My pile 3s. Yes. If this was helpful, give me comments on how. If you would like topics, give me ideas in the comment section as well. And then if you would like a reading, you can look at the description box and there will be information on how to get a hold of me. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, pile 4. So if you picked this, I don't know what this is. It's pretty, but I don't know what it is, and it's not focusing very well. I also apologize that you guys' pile is being read later than the others because I had company come by, which was awesome, but now it's dark, and so you poor things are going to be in my shadow this whole time. So let me see if I can get us some light. Couldn't find more light. We're just going to have to make do. I'm so sorry. All right, so we're looking at what is their problem with you. What is their dang problem with you? Let's take a look and see. Oh! I don't know if y'all read that. Okay, number 29. Oh, I'm just going to let you read that out loud yourself. Just kidding. Thrust your body, elevate your spirit, open the gates to your renewal. You got the orgasm card. Well, congratulations. I didn't realize that card was in there. I didn't realize that was in the cards. I didn't realize the readings were going to finish like this. I didn't know that we would have such a climactic ending to our reading. Yeah, I used to teach high school. I can hear all the kids giggling right now. So what's interesting about this card is like, why would that be a problem with them? Well, so I feel like, honestly, like there's certain people that you might carry an air of sexuality about you, my pile fours. Some people do exude like a sexuality or a sensuality about themselves. And that can like make people kind of like uncomfortable, or they just like, they can't handle it. And so they kind of like judge you. Okay, I'm picking that up for some. For others, I feel like, I'm sorry, I just was not expecting this card. I'm all giggly. I'm like a schoolgirl again. Holy heck. Okay, I'm gonna get it together and be an adult, maybe. Won't make any more climax jokes, I promise. So it could be that you're just having more of those than the average person in your life. Okay. What's their problem with you? I want to take this a little bit more metaphorical and say that you peaked. Maybe you didn't peak back in high school, you're peaking now, okay? And people are kind of jelly of that. Like you might always seem like you're in a peak in your life. I'm feeling that for a lot of you. And so like I'm feeling a lot of petty jealousy. I can't lie. It's so interesting, pile fours, because we're at the end of all the readings and you're the last one. All the readings pretty much like nobody had done anything wrong, which like goes to show my viewers are awesome. Y'all are awesome people and everybody's just jealous of you. And I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. I'm saying that because it's true. Okay. So we have some cards here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. So like you can apply this to any type of relationship or situation that you've got going on where you feel like somebody's throwing you shade. I feel like honestly with this pile, I'm not feeling a lot of romance from this. Okay. So if you're wondering about a romantic connection or a relationship connection that's romantic, this might not be your group. Okay. Piles 1 and 2 had a lot of different romance vibes in them. So you might want to pick one of those. But with this, it feels like work. It feels like friends. It feels like, family maybe, but more than anything it feels like work or school. So like this could be like a club setting, it could be a group setting. I feel like almost like it's more than one person that kind of you feel like might have a problem with you. They might not all be grouped into one group, but we did get that in pile 3. It's almost just like I almost feel like people just kind of react to you in a way that's, not everybody. I feel like some people get you and they find you very magnetic and attractive, and those are like your people. But I also feel like you're like the person that walks into the bar and everybody stares at you, or you walk into a church and everybody glares at you. Okay. Or they look like they're making up their mind about you already. Right. And if you are in the group of people that I said you might exude sexuality or exude sensuality, and people pick up on that, like some people might pick up on it and like really come after you. And some people might actually like even like kind of SLUT shame you. Okay. Even if you're not, an active person with lots of multiple, encounters. Let's look at your tarot. We have Ace of Wands. And I'm not going to say anything until they're all laid out. Try to kind of get that so you can still see it a little bit. Not very well, huh? Oh, well, you know what it said. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. I knew 5 of Cups was going to be in there. I didn't know 5 of Cups was going to be in there, but I know why it's in there. The Hanged Man, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, it's like, it's not... Sometimes it's a whole group. Like sometimes I feel like maybe if you go to visit relatives, they might kind of like have things to say about you. You might be a little more unconventional in the way you look. You might dress a little bit more like provocatively. Like you might wear like a sheer shirt, that you can kind of see through, or like, you might wear like shorter, you might show off your legs or show more skin. I don't feel like any of you are doing this to like be provocative or to like cause a stir. I think that's just like you like the way that style looks, and so you just keep going for it, and the people around you can just deal with it. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So their problem with you is pretty much their problem with themselves, and they project it onto you. And this has been like the case with a lot of these piles. So I feel like for some cases it's like relatives, but I feel like honestly, like anywhere you go, you're going to find a person that kind of throws you shade. If it's a big enough crowd, okay, that you kind of expect people to have an adverse reaction to you in a lot of cases. It probably happened even back in high school. You might have been one of the kids where if you were a new kid, you walked in and like nobody was like excited that you were there. They were more like staring at you like a weird alien just walked in, maybe, okay? And then some of you just exude a confidence and a you know, like you're peaked, like you're at your peak, and they don't like that. They're jealous of that because maybe they felt like they already peaked, or maybe they feel like they're never gonna peak. Okay. And then some of you might just kind of like be in a relationship that's like happy and like people might like can tell that you're still like attracted to each other, right? And you might be older and they might be kind of like sad about that because maybe some of them aren't in happy relationships or whatever. I'm feeling so many different like vibes around you that I feel like you're just kind of that kind of person that people like. I got like Heyoka energy vibes of somebody that you know, if the town was gonna like pick on somebody and decide to take someone out and hang them, it might be you be like somebody that they'd kind of go after. And it's not because you've done anything wrong. It's just because you're marching to the beat of your own drum. You actually look like you're happy. Did you know that back during the days and even today in certain countries still, a lot of times when they would kill people and burn them as witches or hang them for witches, they were really just doing it because they wanted what they had. Because if you died as a witch, a lot of times your property would just be forfeit to whoever had the money to just auction it up. And so a lot of the accusations and things were kind of built up more around this idea of like, you're bad and we're evil and we got to get rid of you. But really there was something else to be gained from that, like land or possessions. I'm not saying that anybody's doing that to you right now, but I do get that like that herd mentality of kind of like they fixate on somebody that's different and try to peck them to death. You know, like hens will peck like another hen to death if they don't like it, you know? Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's like hard because you really haven't done anything bad to deserve that. It's just that, yeah, people are just weird, you know, like we're really just animals, you know, and we'll peck somebody to death just in different ways, right? And like that BS doesn't end after high school does. I don't care what anybody says. So part of their problem with you is that you always seem to have fresh ideas. You always seem to be in a glow up. You're always doing your own thing, okay? Because Page of Wands is all about like finding your inspiration, finding your passion, and just like going for it. You might have a different spirituality than where you live, okay? You might have like an unconventional belief system and you live in an area where they all have like more of the same kind of belief systems and yours isn't quite the same. We have Page of Pentacles. So this also shows that you always seem to have good things coming to you, even sometimes slow, sometimes fast. Sometimes people think that things look quite easy for you, even though it's not. You know, you do things with like a cheerful face and you put a good face on things. And so they're tending to instead of being like, wow, that's an admirable way to be, they're more like, ew, well, who do they think they are? Think they're better than me? I mean, it's just like petty stuff. And it sucks if it's family. I feel like it's more extended family for most of you, you know, like maybe some stuffy, like older relatives. But I also feel it like in your workplace. I feel it even with like acquaintances or like friends that aren't really friends, you know, just like friends of friends. You might be like in a community type area where you kind of have to make nice with everyone, even if you don't really get along, because it's like all this like politeness type stuff, you know. I'm getting vibes of like education, like you might work at like a university, or you might be a teacher, or you might be like a student at college, Okay. You might be a naughty high schooler that's watching this when it's not made for kids. But I mean, I don't cuss and I try not to show nudity in the cards. So you're safer here than a lot of other places on the internet, I guess, if you're breaking the rules and watching when your mommy told you no. I told you no too. Not for kids. Okay, anyway. Five of Cups, yeah, it's like they try to focus in on like what you lack as opposed to what you have to give. And what you have to give is actually like two aces of cups there, two of cups, like little hearts growing out of them, but they're just looking at the ones that didn't make it and be like, oh, wow. So I see them kind of like magnifying your like accomplishments, or like not magnifying your accomplishments, magnifying like your flaws to like mask your accomplishments, or to mask that, to kind of like knock you down a peg or two from like being this joyful, peaked person. Okay. That's so funny. Okay, anyway, the Hanged Man, you see things differently than they do. And that makes them kind of uncomfortable. You're also more responsible than some of them in some ways. Like some people might be upset that they feel like you have too much money than you should have. They might get like kind of like jealous if you like make a new purchase, or like you're driving a new car or something along those lines. And you're actually like, I'm not getting a huge like money thing with you guys. I feel like you've worked hard and you know how to like save your money, and you know how to calculate your time and get the most out of your money. And what you do get with your money are nice things, and they notice that, and they want to know like how come you have that, right? Especially if it's a workplace where you all kind of make about the same amount. They might know that you make just as little as they feel like they make, but why do you make it look so good? Wow. So it's nothing you're doing, honestly. Like, it's not like you made a mistake or did something bad to somebody. At least I'm not seeing that yet. If I do, I'll tell you. And then we also have the Seven of Wands. And like, as you can see, they're all down there with their little sticks, like wanting to like get you, but they can't. You've got the higher ground. So like the cool thing about this card is that they're not going to get you. They're going to try though, in some cases. And like when I say try to get you, they're not going to try to ruin your life or anything. They just try to knock you down off that pedestal they think you've put yourself on, when really they've actually put you on the pedestal, and they're the ones resenting you for it. And they're the ones that put you up there. You're just doing your thing. I feel like this is how it is across the board, whether you're looking at this at family, friendships, romance. Probably not romance, because I just don't feel romance in this pile, but work and school kind of things. So let's get some more tarot. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. Oh, thank you. My cats hate it when I shuffle, so it's nice when the cards just kind of pop out all together like that. All right, we're going to start off with the Star. This second spread has been interesting. It kind of gives you advice. Isn't that interesting? We got it again. Wow. Okay. But I'm feeling what they're saying. Yep. Of course, you got that one. That's the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, Five of Cups again, the Star. We have the High Priestess. Oh, yes. And the Eight of Wands. Very cool. Okay. So here's what I think these cards are representing. These are more about what you need to do. And I love that your guides are putting in advice for you as well, like kind of giving you some perspective. And this happened in all the other piles, but just in different kinds of ways. Sometimes it was a mix of both between the spreads. And then sometimes it was like, this is how you feel. This is how they feel. It was crazy. So anyway, the energy was super thick today. It was great. We're a little more calmed down now because it's like several hours later. Because before I was like wound up like a spring. Okay. We have the Star first. Your guides are saying that like people act this way to stars, right? It doesn't matter how famous or accomplished a famous person is. They have just as many people who hate their guts and wish that they would fail right in front of them. Sometimes they even like death threat them, right? We're talking fanatical. No one's doing that to you yet. But the star is all about, I mean, like, you're a star, you know, like you stand out from the crowd. You stand out in a way that's beautiful. You have healing energy, you have beauty energy, you have charisma, you have sensuality, and some people are just always going to hate on that no matter how good you are. What your guides want you to focus on is that not all of those people feel that way about you. It's just you focus on them sometimes because they're so vocal and they're so, you know, we're always going to notice the negative stuff first because it feels uncomfortable, whereas the other stuff feels good. There are people around you who do not feel this way about you. And yes, they're in that same close proximity to those people. And so if this is like school or work, right, or friends, there are some that don't feel that way about you. And so your guides want you to throw your energy more, your emotional energy more towards them. And like I've told many of the piles today, hopefully this is the last pile you'll ever read or the last reading you ever get about what's their problem with, what is these people's problem with you, because you haven't done anything wrong. I've been seeing that very clearly. Your guides are also showing you the Two of Wands, like the world is your oyster. You've got the world in the palm of your hand, okay? So just keep doing what you're doing because you're bringing light into the world, unlike these people who are trying to stifle your light or leech off your light, right? Or kill your light, snuff it out, right? Or eclipse it with their own, but their own light is not that great. Nine of Pentacles is about a single person doing great. They have all this money around them. You look like accomplished. You look like that regal figure in the Nine of Pentacles that doesn't need anybody but yourself. And you're perfectly content by yourself. That also bothers people. Like some of you might be single. And it bothers people that you don't care if you find somebody. And my God, if you feel that way, I flippin' love you. Like I am just saying. And I'm not saying that I'm giving people a hard time that like want to find love. I just wish that they wouldn't hinge their entire happiness on finding it. Okay. And so when I find people that are more just about finding love with themselves and figuring out what they want to do and what makes them tick, oh, I love it. It's so refreshing. So if you're one of those, I'm a fan. If you're not, I get it. You know, it's hard to go through life without a companion, right? But at the same time, you are enough. And I know that's such a cliche saying now, but it's true. And I wish everybody felt that. Your guides are also showing that you are quite intuitive, and that makes your BS detector very strong. So you also become kind of a mirror or a reminder to people of their shortcomings without even trying. It's just because you're there. It's because they know that you're intuitive. Like they can see it on your face. If like somebody tells you a stupid lie or they're even just lying to themselves, they can see it on your face that you're like, that's not true. And you're not even judgmental about it. It's just, you exude this like wisdom and energy that people pick up on and they find themselves lacking. And that's why they lash out on you. I also see 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is about fast moving passion and change. I feel like this card actually represents that once you realize that this is how this is, you will flip from not giving a crap what these people think anymore. I probably can't say that word, but I just said it, so who cares? All right, we're going to get you and them some animal energy. We're going to start with them. And then we're going to get one for you and get some insight into just what else is going on. Okay, interesting. We got this in another pile. We have the Swan, demonstrate grace and majesty. And then for you, we have the Tiger, accept your magnificence. Sorry, I keep trying to put this over here because my camera is in a different... I flipped it around so it would film things. I'm in a totally different spot in the house. Never filmed here before. I probably won't ever film here again. Okay. And I really try not to film at night because the lighting in here is so terrible. So some of these people are going to develop and get better. Some of them are not, okay? And this is kind of the same message I got for some other people. So you might be drawn to pile 3 as well. If you're into romance, you might be drawn to 2 of the other piles, 1 or 2. But this is all about, some of them will find their grace and like develop into a more beautiful person, like the swan develops into a beautiful swan. Others will not. And what your guides want you to do is, if they're not demonstrating that grace to you and being nice to you, or, you know, apologizing, or however, like giving you value, whatever, as long as they stop, you know, being terrible jerk faces to you, like you could possibly end up making friends with some of these people again, or, you know, for the first time, because they'll develop and change. So some of them are actually going to get better because you're not going to bow down and be like, oh, it's okay, go ahead and treat me like snot, it's cool. Right? But you're also going to do it in a tactful and classy way, as I know you will. And so some of them are going to change, some of them will not. So your guides want you to look at who's demonstrating that they belong in your circle, who's demonstrating that they're not a giant jerk face to you, okay? And let actions speak louder than words. And then accept your magnificence. You're a tiger, baby. You're amazing. Look at that light shining above you. And like the earth behind you, and just this beautiful like crystal pointed energy of like your third eye and your heart chakra just all lit up, right? You exude this light and this power. Because tigers are sexy, you know, they slink around, you know, like, it's not like other tigers are like, oh, you're such a dull thing. Yes. What else? Okay. This is about what you need to heal. And this is one for them, one for you, and then something that you both need to do in the middle. I know I'm such a dork, like it matters. But here I am doing it. Okay. So they got honor light in you and others. Exactly. Like, doesn't have to just be about you. Like, just because you're celebrating somebody else doesn't mean you don't have to be celebrated too. Like, I hate people that drag other people down so that they feel better about themselves. It's so despicable to me. And then you got heal your oppression wound. Yes, like they don't have this power over you. They want you to think they do. They want you to think that your worth hinges on their opinions, right? But their opinions are stupid. So heal your oppression wound. These people don't own you. You can say whatever you want, right? And then between you, here you're crying. Yeah, they need to acknowledge whatever is making them feel insecure from you, because you're not doing it to them. It's not like you're trying to intimidate them or put them down or drag down them every time they have an accomplishment like they do to you. So they need to look at their past and figure, they need to honor you and honor others, right? And honor themselves. And they need to actually embrace like hearing themselves cry about whatever turned them into that energy, because something made them that way. And then the same thing with you. Here you're crying. Here you're crying that people don't treat you the way they should, and you've never done anything to deserve that. And I believe that very firmly. Like if you're like, no, I did. I like, you know, I broke up homes and, you know, stole and cheated from people. Like then I would understand them being upset. But like, I don't feel that way about you. I feel like you're like at your peak. You're just doing like what makes you happy. And that's where the shade is coming from. It has nothing to do with like you being a bad person or making a mistake. This is their issue. So I hope that you will go forward from this knowing that this was not anything that you did. This is their issue. They project on you, and just keep on rocking who you are. Don't let them make you feel like you can't be free to be yourself, to accept and they can accept your magnificence too, those dorks. All right. That's all I really have for my pile 4s. Man, this is way quicker than piles 1 and 2. By about, 7 minutes or so. So if this was helpful, go ahead and give me comments on how it was. If you would like to give me topic ideas in that same section, please do. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to get a hold of me in the description box. I am a pretty personable person. So go ahead and don't hesitate to reach out, even if you just have questions. Okay. So wonderful to see you all. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.